Luke Soderbergh.
Julian Centron.
And we are joined here by our guest. He is a well-known rapper within our community. He's had an amazing year. He's been to places like Arizona, Washington, D.C., and many more places. And I welcome Isaiah Lambert, also known as Lil Icy.
Yes. How y'all doing?
Good. How about you?
How you doing?
Big things for 2019. I just know, like, just day by day, it's just wonderful. That's all. Just playing it day by day.
That's a good way to say it, you know.
Yeah. So, how's music going for you?
Good.
Good.
Yeah, I've been using new metaphors, new words, diving into the dictionary.
Okay. I see you got a book there.
This is boss mentality right here. This books like this changed me around.
Yeah,
I started doing yoga and stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Getting the channeling your chakras.
Alright, so we wanted to get you here to talk about one of the conversations that's been very relevant. And it's about separating the art from the artist. You know, as we know, R. Kelly is going through a lot, you know. And we would just like to feel how it would be in your shoes. Like, how would you feel if it was you? Would you want people to separate you from your music, even though all the good that you done, but you also what how do you feel about that? Like,
when the show or whatever came on about R. Kelly, I ain't even watched it. I haven't even watched it yet. And I didn't really dig into the story. I've been searching on the web. I done seen like theories of it way before that even happened.
so what is your theory about it?
My theory is he an R&B singer. So it is what it is. They going on tour and all these females literally dying. Something like Michael Jackson, they really out here passing out from seeing them.
Right.
You know that you can do anything to.
So have you witnessed this yourself? Personally, like when you go on tour, or when you've been on the few tours that you have you witnessed this yourself, like younger females throwing themselves at you?
Yeah, but I mean, you gotta be responsible, and and that's another thing. Him, it wasn't even, he was a grown man, so doing a lot of them things, for it to be such an uproar, something had to happen.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, nothing's going to justify what happened.
Right.
But I think that there is a fine line. I think it's a fine line between separating the art from the artist. Merely because, like, you know, for me, Bill Cosby, for instance, I don't justify I'm not trying to justify what he did. It was not right. However, I will not stop watching the Cosby Show. I mean, I love Cosby Show.
And people still listen to R. Kelly. When I see people listen to R. Kelly, when the first time I seen it after that, I was like, wow. Because you can't turn it down. You can't turn it down. It was great. And like, you wouldn't know where his head is at, because that's a lot of people turning on you. Especially when you were so famous, making songs that's in movies and everything. And then you just wake up one day and everything, the energy in your life just starts to change. And you start feeling negativity. And then, if he's really separated from his art, then I don't believe that his mind is anywhere healthy then. Because an artist, somebody that has got ideas and turns their life into like a canvas, when that's taken away, you don't know what to do. You didn't do that in your life. That's not what you wanted to do.
So, as an artist, like, how would you feel about that?
I would handle it like, I realize apologies do get accepted. And sometimes you gotta put apologies in forms of not showing that you're weak, but knowing, like, and putting your own forgiveness into the people that's upset with you. Because it's just emotions.
Yeah.
And bad things happen. So what I would have did, I would have made my form of apologies, owned up to it. He's not in jail, so it's not like he would lose anything.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not like it wasn't, everyone already knew. I mean, he was dating and almost married Aaliyah, and she was what, 15? And I mean, everyone knew it, but I feel like the whole Hollywood community tried to ignore it. And then finally, when they came out with this documentary called Surviving R. Kelly, now everyone is like coming out and saying
Yeah,
something.
I feel like, to me, it's kind of skeptical, because it always does, but you don't never know what those females are going through. So like, it's kind of skeptical to me though that now everybody wants to come out all of a sudden because it takes one brave soul. But like, that's probably what it took for people to come out and explain how they felt about it, because people go through this stuff a lot, and they don't ever want to shed light on it because they feel like it's gonna cause too much attention towards them. But as you though, like I said, like if it was your fans, would you not want them to listen to you no more? Or is it you feel like it's entirely up to how diehard they are about you?
It's always about how diehard they are. Because if they're not diehard, when you're making music and your art true to yourself and put it out there, they gotta know that you changing. So when you first start making music or art, you got one way. But then your life changed. You started seeing experiences. Your life not what you was creating art off back then, when you was living your life and then creating art off it. You grew and you did other things, so now your art process is being made off of what you're seeing now.
Right.
So that means growth and development. And they gotta be diehard to be riding with it, and even diehard enough to want to dig into your life and see how your life is changing.
Right.
What's your take on it?
Like you said, like about separating the art from the artist and stuff. Like how you said you would still listen to Bill Cosby and all that stuff. Like, if my favorite artist, if I found out all that stuff about them doing those kinds of things to girls, like I wouldn't stop listening to them. I don't think it's fair to like try to get your friends to stop listening to them and stuff like that. Like trying to just force, because the music is different from the person. You can hate the person all you want, but just let the music, have beauty to it, and just, like enjoy it as much as you can, and try to separate the art.
Yeah, I think that's a problem within, I feel like any situation, because, in life, people, you can do as much good in your life, but if you do one thing, people will only remember that one bad
The
thing.
bad always outweighs the good. But like he said though, he'll still listen to it because R. Kelly's sales done went up a lot more now that this
It was
done
trending.
came out.
It was trending soon it happened. People went straight to the music. You would
Yeah.
think he would be shunned, but honestly, and this was just on my mind when I was talking, we don't know what's going on, and I'm gonna call it the zero world. I mean, third world countries, that's like people down, and it's us. I'm gonna say that's the first world. And we like just here living, but then it's zero world when you get hired, and then like you not seen by people. You only told. That's why people can make up stories and stuff. So the people in the zero world, I'm gonna put like Jay-Z, Bill Gates type stuff. So they tried to get Jay-Z to be in the documentary, and he turned it down.
Right.
We could look at it the negative way and say Jay-Z just didn't want to talk about R. Kelly, or we could put it in the positive way and say Jay-Z just didn't want to talk about R. Kelly. By saying
Right.
he understands stuff happen. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? People down here, I'm not gonna say us, but people in our world, when we on Facebook and stuff, you don't see them on social media like that. They only showing their productivity. Us people in the first world, we spend so much time on social media. That's because we create entertainment for ourselves and other people's lives.
Right. And also people feel as if when you get into that zero world that you're talking about, that people tend to abuse their, not authority, but like popularity. People tend to abuse it. But I mean, if you showing off you're good, like you're good on your social media, like you said, and not just all the bad and negativity. Like we have a few people that done shown bad from their popularity, like getting famous from doing crazy stunts and
Yeah,
all
like
that.
I don't want to bring anything personal, but it's an artist I know, and he does a lot to try to dig into that gold mine.
Yeah.
And it don't even take all that. It take being yourself for one,
Hard work.
hard work of course, take self-control, self-confidence, and then it's simply like that. So R. Kelly's situation, he could be somewhere mentally either bad or good, and it could hurt him, or it could just be a lesson learned. that he dealing with himself. We would never know.
So
Right.
yeah, so I can speak for all of us when I say that it is possible to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah, I say that's about fair.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for having this conversation with
Thank
us.
you.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Now how we doing?
Hi everybody, I'm Jada Freeman and I'm here with.
Luke Soderbergh.
Julian Cintron.
And our guest here today, he is a senior here at Case. He's also the defensive lineman for the varsity football team and a track runner here. Everyone welcome Serge.
Hello everyone, how you doing?
How you doing, Serge?
So, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
Good, good.
Pretty good. Ready for track season?
My legs aren't, but my mind is. My legs aren't, but my mind is.
Yeah. Everyone's trying to convince everyone to run track this year. I've seen everyone talking about it. Yeah.
My ballast parts.
So, we are here to talk about this year's Super Bowl.
Oh my God. I don't even.
Super Bowl.
The Super
There was a
Bowl.
Super Bowl again this year?
Yeah,
like everybody forgot about
sure
that.
it was. So, what you guys think? Did anyone watch it?
I did not watch it. I'm sorry. I mean, I watched the last quarter of it because I was at work, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna miss the Super Bowl." Come to find out, everybody's coming through the store because I work at a grocery store, so everybody's coming through like, "Oh my God, the game is so bad." And I'm like, "Wow." So on my break, I checked the score. It's 3-0 in the third quarter. I'm like, "Oh my God!" Like I was like, "That is like."
Right.
Yeah,
I was working too, and I work at a grocery store too, so everyone got their stuff at 5. They went to go have their parties and stuff, and the store was just dead. I looked at the score; it was 3-0, like you said.
Yeah,
Wow.
I work at Walmart, so obviously it's gonna be busy for events like that, and it was pretty busy. It was pretty packed there when I was working, and it seemed like it was gonna be an interesting game. Seeing that all these people were coming to get supplies and stuff to have Super Bowl parties and stuff. So fortunately, I got to leave early that day. I was scheduled early to get off, so I was excited to go watch the game, even though I wasn't that excited because of the teams that were playing. I was still excited to watch it, and like they said, I checked the score by halftime. It was 3-0 still.
Yeah, 3-0.
So I figured it was going to be a low scoring game because both teams do have a good defense, and I don't know. I just feel like overall, it wasn't as exciting as past Super Bowls, especially the past 3 or whatever, especially with the teams that we had playing in previous years, and especially with the ratings. The ratings really went down from, I believe, last year was 102 million people.
103 million, and then this year was 98 million. So it went down a lot. And I feel like I think the biggest part of why it's going down is because the Patriots consecutively going back to back to back.
Yeah.
It just it gets boring,
Yeah.
So
tired of seeing Tom Brady get a ring, man. I'm tired of
it gets tiring seeing the same thing, and like you said, I feel like that's the reason why not so many people watched it this year.
Right.
And because even though you have this really good team that did very well this season, like the Rams, they did very well. Jared Goff, he's a pretty good quarterback. They have an amazing defense.
Right.
Aaron Donald, best of the best. But yeah, I feel like even though you have a team like them go against the Patriots are an elite team. Like if you were to make an elite team on a sports game like 2K or Madden, they would be the elite team that nobody can beat. So you kind of have that doubt in your mind that Tom Brady's gonna take it all because it's Tom Brady. He's been doing this for so long.
All right. So one more question before we wrap it up. But do you feel like this will be Tom Brady's last season, considering that this is his 6th ring, and they were almost all back to back? But do you consider this might be his last year, and how do you think it would change for next year's Super Bowl?
Personally, I don't think it's going to be his last year. I feel like he's going to play. Well, he did say he wanted to play until he was 45, and I don't know. I think he's 42, 43-ish. So he's going to be around for a couple more years. But I think he's just going to keep continuing to dominate the NFL until his time's up, and hopefully next year. I mean, as much as I respect him and he's a really good quarterback, I would like to see a difference in who plays in the Super Bowl because we're going to know the outcome if he does go to the Super Bowl again.
Packers will be there.
Packers definitely will be there.
The Packers will be there. Yes, they will.
Drew Brees is going to win it all next year.
Oh gosh, no.
I don't know. But before we close, there's one subject we forgot. But another reason why the ratings were low was because people were boycotting the Super Bowl because of Colin Kaepernick.
Oh
Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that's a lot of celebrities, like, you know, on Instagram. Like, I was on Instagram. I didn't really watch it because I do support Colin Kaepernick, but I feel like even if you did watch it, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can still support him and watch the game, but I mean, it was a really underwhelming game. But yeah, so celebrities they were all coming together and like not watching the game. Like celebrities like Rihanna, Michael Jordan, all those celebrities, and that's why.
I believe that ties in too with some of these other celebrities that get basically separated from what they do and who they are. And what like Colin Kaepernick, what he was trying to do, especially he was using the NFL to his advantage so he could display his beliefs on because he knows he's gonna be on TV, he's gonna be on national television, he's gonna be in front of thousands of people. So he took that to his advantage to show what he believed in. And from a business point, obviously they don't want him to protest something that's a big part of the beginning of the game. So I feel like that's why they chose to get rid of him, and a lot of people are angry about it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people disagree about that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like him coming out made people just bash him because of what he believed in. But like, I feel like people don't want you to speak up. People don't want you to talk about what you believe in. They want it to be a certain way, and as the NFL, they want to portray a certain image, and their image is we're gonna respect this flag, And from him kneeling, that's why I feel like they started bashing him because he wanted to stand up for what he believed in. If he doesn't want to follow that, then you're out of here.
Yeah, because people claim, to be patriotic, but I feel like it's more like, showing a lot of nationalism. Like they're trying to like not just not like put down another country, but basically saying we're better than them.
Right.
So I mean, I think Colin Kaepernick, what he did was, I feel like it was brave and it was right, and it was a matter of history repeating itself, because this happened before, just in a different sport. Like I don't know if I remember the date, but I believe it was in 1968 Olympics when these two men, they raised their fist when they won their Olympics in track, and after that they got their medal stripped from them, and they were told to exit the building. So I mean, it's happened before, and it's just a matter of, I think, that people need to really know what they're standing up for. And like Colin Kaepernick, I feel like he needs to really start utilizing his power now, because he has his attention.
He does
and
have a
people
lot of
supporting him by not even watching the Super Bowl. So yeah.
And that's another thing, just like how our other topic was separating the artist from the art. He's a great quarterback, and right now he's sitting out because nobody wants all that publicity. Like, Green Bay could have signed him, but a lot of people don't want that publicity of people, bashing him, and they'll also bash the team, so like the ratings for the team will possibly go down, so nobody wants to deal with him. Now he's just good talent going to waste, and I feel like that's not right either. I mean, but what can you do?
Right. And one big side of the argument too is people that they argue is that they're paid to do a certain act. They see them as only entertainers, but they forget that they're
Human beings.
yeah, they have a voice of their own, and they forget that they're actual people outside of entertainment. So they have, people need to understand that they have certain beliefs. Just because you have a jersey on, you get paid to have that jersey on, doesn't mean that you can't have a voice. Like, everybody's gonna have a voice
Right.
either way. And I don't know. He just chose to show his, and I'm pretty sure a lot of them in the NFL want to show it, but they're too afraid to because they see what happened to Kaepernick.
Yeah. So hopefully next year we'll have a better Super Bowl with the Packers there.
Green Bay will be there.
And and yeah, well, thank you, Serge, for being here and talking with us.
Thank you, Serge. No problem.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right, so our final topic of the day is about 21 Savage.
Yeah.
So, as everyone knows that 21 Savage has recently been arrested by ICE due to him overstaying his visa here in America.
Yeah, he had a 10-year visa. He came here when he was about, we roughly about 10 years old because he's 26 right now. So I want to say 10 years old because 10 years of his visa would make him 20. They said he was here illegally 6 years, and that would make him 26. So I guess it was that. But the whole incident, they said that he was driving or whatever, and he got pulled over. But ICE already knew, like they already knew he was illegal, and they pulled him over. They were already there. It wasn't like it was a setup or anything. They already knew it. So they ended up pulling him over and they ended up arresting him. What triggered this all is that 21 Savage management team had went and tried to like renew his visa like without people knowing, and it popped up on their radar. You know, after so long, you know, they lose file kind of probably. So I'm not positive what happened totally, but I think that's what, like, when he tried to renew his visa, like they end up, it popped up on their screen or radar somehow, and he ended up getting arrested. So right now he's locked up, and what's going on?
Yeah, he's locked up and under like 23-hour watch basically.
He can't do anything. So 23 hours he's in his cell, and he only gets 1 hour of like, I guess, I don't know, TV time or something, possibly one of those, or just he gets to sit out probably for lunch or something. Who knows? But yeah, he's on. I don't get why it's such a big deal, because he's been committed a few felonies, you know, while he was here illegally. So like, how did it not pop up then? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I was really wondering that, like, he's done some other crimes, and it's like, you know, why, when they search his name up, like, why didn't it pop up that
Right.
he was old? But technically, I mean, when did it just end? When did it end? Like, 6 years ago, so it's
Yeah, it
like,
ended 6 years ago, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure it would have popped up anything, like, you know, of him doing certain things. But if it's different if he was here on his visa and committed something, because it would make it a totally different situation if he was here on his visa and committed a crime, because it wouldn't pop up then. So we don't really know the full details, but like, all I want to say is that I feel like it's not that, like, how you gonna let somebody be here for 6 years and then finally come out with, oh, you're here illegally, now we're gonna deport you back just because of, you know, you can do that. I
Yeah.
feel like that's not right, you know.
yeah, and social media is going crazy with, I mean, all these memes and videos and voiceover videos and everything,
Yeah.
and it's like crazy. Have you seen some of those?
Yeah. I mean, how do you guys feel about, I mean, he's said that he grew up in Atlanta when he was originally from the UK. Like, how do you feel about, does it justify him, like, him just lying about his whole persona of being, like, born and raised in the US and just kind of faking everything? Do you think that should, like, separate, like, should, like, almost like the art from the artist kind of thing, like, do
I
you
feel
think we
like-
should stop listening to him?
I feel like he's in Zone 6, so he's from Zone 6 in Atlanta. I feel like he's been there his entire life since he was 10 years old. That's, I mean, you don't start remembering stuff a part of your life until you're about, I want to say 5 or 6, maybe 7. So 3 years of knowing certain things, and you get here when you're 10. I mean, I feel like that's all him. You know, he's from Atlanta. I would say he's from Atlanta. He born and raised. I mean, not born, but he's been raised there. So for over 10 years, like, he was here on his visa, living in Atlanta. So I would say he's definitely from Atlanta. And people that say he isn't and saying that he's lying, I mean, I don't know. It's like a lot of inside stuff that you could possibly say. But I feel like I definitely would say he's from Atlanta. What do you think, Jada?
I mean, I say that him lying about, oh, technically he is from Atlanta. I'm gonna say he's from Atlanta, but I'm saying when they're saying that he's lying, I feel like it's not that big a deal, because, you know, we don't have to know everything about an artist or a celebrity's life. I mean, certain things they just don't want people to know. So I mean, they're people too. I mean, some people just don't. I mean, I feel like he was trying to settle that on his own with his crew. You know, like, you know, with management, you know,
Right.
trying to make sure that his visa, he can, you know, get a visa here and be able to stay here. So I think he was just like trying to have that situation kind of.
And also him being an artist, I feel like I feel like he should have been on top of that. But if he wasn't, I feel like he possibly did not know about it. Maybe he didn't know. So, you know, you never know what goes on behind the scenes. But I definitely feel like it's free 21 Savage.
Yeah.
It's definitely free 21 Savage, because he's turned his life around. He was giving back to schools, you know, giving back to the children, just turn his life all the way around, and for them to try to set him back like this, I feel like it's just a public setback, you know. And I feel like it's just all a part of certain people's plans, you know. If you see him doing good, why would you try to stop him now? So.
Yeah, and celebrities have been coming together. I mean, there has been some controversy with memes and people laughing about it. And I feel like more people were laughing more at the fact that they didn't know he was British, but they're not laughing at the fact he's being deported. but what I'm saying is that, yeah, celebrities are coming together, and they started this like a petition.
Like free.
Yeah, it's called Free 21 Savage, and they're trying to stop his deportation.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a good thing that people are coming together just to help him. You know, people
Right.
that don't even know him personally are coming together. Like, they're trying to help him. You know, so I think.
Do you know a lot about like the deportation? Like, do you know like if they were to get deported, do you know like are they able to come back ever or not?
See, I don't know that much about deportation. I don't know much about it. I'm not sure if he has the ability to come back. I don't know if, you know, like marriage will play into that. If he got married to someone here, type, you know, people could get
Yeah,
married.
if he was definitely married to a United citizen, then he would not be deported. But he has a family here though. That's their biggest thing. Like, what happens to his children that he has? You know, what will happen to them if he gets deported? Because I mean, he provides for his mother, his children, all of that. Like, he's the moneymaker of the family. So I mean, who knows? But
So like, I don't know not that much about it, but I was just gonna say like, so you guys like think it's totally like justified for him to stay here for 6 years without having a visa like illegally, like when just because I feel like well, some people think it's okay just because he's like a high status, but if there was someone like that stayed 6 years past their visa that was just part of the middle class, lower class, and they got deported, no one would care, you know.
no, yeah, I like that he said something like that. Like, cause that is a lot of people like that in the world. That he's not the only one that has an expired visa probably, and it's just so happened that they caught somebody in the high class, like a celebrity. They caught somebody. So I mean, like I said, we don't know if he didn't know, and we don't know if they were trying to work it out or not on the low, so nobody would know. But like you said though, like they should. I mean, it's equal. They're trying to be equal to people, you know.
Yeah, I feel like him being a celebrity made him more of a target. Because, you know, anybody that is kind of like under the radar with, you know, their visa, I mean, I don't know much about it, but I feel like somebody's under the radar might not be caught as easily. But I feel like him being a celebrity kind of made him, you know, an easy target. Because he's like, you know, very well known. And he's becoming a more world-renowned, you know, artist. Because before he was like, you know, some people knew about him, now a lot of people know.
Yeah, because he was very active into the streets and stuff like that, and then he finally like changed his life around. Like, he started investing his money, you know, into schools and certain stuff like that, like I've been saying. But I feel like what all tipped it off in ICE knowing that he was here illegally is him trying to renew his visa or get his papers or however it works, you know. I feel like that's what triggered it all though, because I feel like he knew, but he possibly couldn't, but I felt like he did because him trying to renew it possibly set that off. So I definitely think that's what it was.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, him being a celebrity, we should try to help a lot of people with this issue. I mean, a lot of people in the world have had this problem, and I feel like, you know, celebrity or not, you know, no one deserves to be deported, you know, and you know, take away from their family.
Yeah, and it ruins a lot of families because there's kids around the world right now that got their parents deported and they don't know where their children are now. And now it's like, what are they gonna do? They'll never see their mother or their father again. And that could potentially happen to him. I mean, since he's so big and high status, you know, he'll be able to keep in touch. But what about the people that can't?
Yeah. So it's a big problem here. So I feel like, you know, the world needs to change.
I mean, they could ICE and like the government could just be trying to set like an example, especially being able to catch some sort of like high status person like rapper, if they can make because you know it's against the law to be here legally, and I think they're just trying to enforce that law, and yeah, they're kind of being insensitive towards families and things like that, but still I think we should like abide by the law, and I think like people should be educated on how to get to the U.S. Legally and not having to come here illegally and having all these problems with ICE deporting you. Like if you didn't come here illegally in the first place, you would have been separated from your kids.
However, it is very, very hard to get here. It's like the process to even be able to be granted citizenship is very hard, and I feel like the U.S.
So
needs to
long.
they need to fix that because otherwise people won't, need to come here illegally.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like educating people, like maybe even just like I'm sure there is something like online of how to become a citizen. It's just that not all areas of the world have like access to be able to go and find out how to educate themselves on how to get to the U.S. legally.
As we speak, possibly right now as we speak, there are thousands of people at the U.S. border, trying to get in because they want to claim asylum because it's not safe for them where they are. You want people to, they want to just change their life around, And I feel like, the law is the law, but like still, they could be more, what do I want to say, like they could be nicer about it, They don't have to just bash them people like that because it wasn't their fault that they were here illegally. They just came for a better life, and here's possibly a better life for them because they get more jobs. They come here, they work.
Yeah, so we wish all the best for 21 Savage, and we just hope that things go well for that.
Yeah, free 21 Savage.
21.